Would Might Guy have made a better teacher for Naruto? It's a complicated question and one that'll take a little bit of time to dissect, but the answer is both surprising and not. So let's go ahead and get into it. I think that when it comes to teachers in Naruto, there is a variety to pick from, and all of them are good in their own way. I mean, I think it's pretty fair to say that Naruto probably ended up with one of the coolest ones early on, Kakashi, but was Kakashi a good teacher for him and the rest of Team 7? That's debatable, but probably not. Kakashi was an excellent ninja. He was the copy ninja, master of 1,000 jutsu. This alone you think would make him a great teacher, but honestly he seemed to have very little interest in guiding his students into being better ninja, giving them very bland assignments and not paying much attention to any factor of their growth. Because of this, anyone he did spend most of his time on was actually Sasuke, and beyond that he pretty much ignored Sakura and Naruto, being surprised whenever they tended to evolve. So, if he wasn't the right teacher for Naruto, does that mean Guy would have been? Kind of. There's really no right teacher for Naruto, I think, outside of Jiraiya, but who his first teacher was could have been a significant difference in his early life. And if we think about what Might Guy's skills were, they might have actually blended better with Naruto than Kakashi did. Might Guy is obviously the master of the 8 gates in the village of Konoha, and it's really what he's famous for. He's an excellent Kenjutsu user, and he's most famous for his Taijutsu. This scales very well with Naruto's abilities. Naruto is probably the most active physical fighter of Team 7, as Sasuke tends to use fireballs and other abilities, and Sakura would later become a powerhouse, but even Kakashi thought she'd be better off using Genjutsu due to her precise chakra control. And that actually brings us to one of the first things that Naruto could have learned really well from Guy: his chakra control. Naruto had really terrible chakra control at the beginning of the series. It was so awful that honestly Ebisu and Jiraiya thought it needed massive improvement, and it did. The fact that he actually didn't learn tree walking or water walking before he left the Ninja Academy is in and of itself an issue, as those would have been helpful, but even that would have needed improvement. And especially since he uses shadow clones, one of the most chakra control dependent abilities, this was a skill that was absolutely necessary. Funny thing is, controlling the 8 gates is a form of chakra control. You have to be able to master the ability to flow it in and out of the gates and open them, controlling your own body. This is perfect for Naruto and would have absolutely accelerated his development with the clones. In short, he would have had an even larger army of Narutos to fight with at any time during the series. But then that brings us to our second point, and one we touched on earlier. Guy's Taijutsu skills would have blended perfectly with Naruto and his clones. Because Naruto doesn't learn the Rasengan until at least the 3rd arc, depending on how you view it and split the show up, he's kind of left with just the clones and transformation. Neither of these are super powerful on their own unless you're against very weak opponents. Because let's be honest, he kind of needed Sasuke to pull off the diversion in the Land of Waves arc, and while the Uzumaki Barrage is a fantastically cool move and should have been what he was building on, it kind of becomes a one-trick pony and he doesn't learn any other moves like that. However, with Guy as his teacher, he more than likely would have. He probably would not have gained the same level of Taijutsu skill as Lee because he was not nearly as dependent on it. Think like Neji, he didn't have to be as fast as Lee or work as hard in that particular area. But that doesn't mean he wouldn't have been an excellent Taijutsu user, and to be frank, even 10 Narutos, all with half of Lee's Taijutsu ability, would have been terrifying in unison. So yeah, in this front, it would have been way more useful for Guy to teach Naruto how to do this, and then if you throw his Kenjutsu skills using nunchucks, bow staffs, and swords on top of it, it just gets exponentially better for Naruto. But that all kind of pales in comparison to the 8 gates. I mean, that's the signature thing that he taught Lee, and there's really already a precedent for it in this video already for why he would teach it to Naruto. Chakra control. But considering Naruto was always trying to figure out how to tap into his own chakra better, control it, and then even tap into Kurama's, the 8 gates would have been an ideal way to figure this out. In many ways, tapping into the 8 gates is like tapping into Kurama. You have to first prep yourself, figure out how to control your own chakra, and then start opening up a seal that allows you to access more of it. Of course, in this case, the 8 gates would not have put him in nearly as much danger. Yes, it's a dangerous ability, but it's far less dangerous than having a demonic fox have the possibility of overtaking your body. So, combining all three of those things together, it's pretty clear to say that Might Guy would have made a better teacher for Naruto than Kakashi was. Because if we look at the facts, Kakashi did not teach Naruto anything. And I do mean anything. It was either skills he already had or ones that he acquired by himself until he meets Jiraiya. So, Guy would have been a better teacher for him, hands down.